Hello everyone and a very good morning to all of you and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep, the most comprehensive preparation app for all exams. So as we all know, from Monday to Thursday, 11 a.m. in the morning, we come up with the Hindu analysis. Today is 26th February. That is Monday and we are here with the Hindu analysis of this. Am I audible? Awaaz aa rahi hai meri? Okay. So here is an article, poverty levels actually below 5% claims Niti Aayog chief. So this we will be discussing about it. Then here is an article talking about Uttarakhand to table bill to recover damage to property in protest. So these two things we will be discussing it. So let's start with this one. But before that, there is a question for you. Who is the vice chairperson of Niti Aayog? Your options are Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Mr. BVR Subramaniam, Mr. Suman Berry, Mr. Arvind Panagaria. Please answer it if you know it. Vice chairperson Niti Aayog कौन है आपको बताना है comment section में. I'm waiting for the answers. Anyone? So the right answer to this question is, so vice chairperson of Niti Aayog is Mr. Suman Berry. C is the right answer. He is actually the CEO of Niti Aayog and he is the chairperson. The chairperson always is the prime minister. Okay. So you can see it here. Suman Berry is vice chairperson, BVR Subramaniam is CEO, and prime minister is the chairperson. Okay. So it was actually similar to the, it replaced, I hope you are aware, planning commission. And in planning commission also the same thing was there. So the chairperson was the prime minister, the vice chairperson was some person and all, right? So here the right answer is C is the right answer, Suman Berry. Now, since we are talking about BVR Subramaniam, so this is actually the person is BVR Subramaniam. He is the CEO of Niti Aayog. And according to him, the poverty levels have gone down below 5% according to him. Okay. So less than 5% of Indians are now expected to be below poverty line and extreme destitution has gone away. Extreme destitution मतलब क्या होता है? जब बहुत गरीबी, extreme level of poverty or extreme level of pain. So it has gone away according to him. So he's citing the report of household consumption expenditure survey. That is what he's talking about. Then dismissing the narrative that rural economy is weak and India's growth story is restricted to a few. So because he's saying that there are some people who say that only a few people have got benefited of the India's growth story. So according to Mr. BVR Subramaniam, this is not correct. Rather, he says that actually about that growth is broad-based with rural Indians' incomes and spends rising faster than their urban peers. So he has said that the rural Indians are in fact getting better income and it is their income is rising more faster as compared to the urban people. Okay, इन शहरों के मुकाबले गांव में ज़्यादा अर्निंग हो रहे. That is what he has said. Now, in the same article, Gini coefficient is also being discussed. So there's a question for you. Gini coefficient is used to measure what? GDP, inequality, employment, gender equality. Can you not tell me? Because in the same article, if you have read it, the term Gini coefficient is also mentioned. So क्या चीज के लिए क्या measure किया था economics में? This actually it comes from Lawrence curve होता है, ठीक है, वो आपको नहीं जाना है. That's slightly on a tougher side. So इस तरह का Lawrence curve होता है, ठीक है. So with the help of this curve, the Gini coefficient is calculated, and this is used to calculate the income inequality. Okay, so B is the right answer. Income inequality. Gini coefficient use किया था. Okay. So yes, Shweta, Ramesh, Astha, Vasti, you all are right. B is the right answer. So he says inequality between rural and urban area is declining. So earlier the urban areas were much richer as compared to rural areas. So according to Mr. BVR Subramaniam, the CEO of Niti Aayog, the gap is actually declining, and that is why Gini coefficient will drop too. So the Gini coefficient जो होता है ना वो 0 से लेके 1 तक होता है. Okay, it is like this. So if it is 0, देखो लिखा होगा यहाँ पे भी, here it is written, है ना. So if it is 0, it represents equality, 100% equality. And if it is 1, it represents 100% inequality. Now, both are actually two extreme conditions. This is not possible. I mean, like 100% equality means everyone in the entire country has equal amount of earning. Okay, na? And 100% inequality means one person has all money and the rest of the people are actually do not have any money at all. So both are extreme condition, but that is how it is. So if it is actually going near to, like for example, if it is 0.3 and it is 0.5, then 0.3 is considered as more equal as compared to 0.5, right? So that is what it is saying, that Gini coefficient is dropping. It means if it is near to 0, it is considered as actually more healthy or more equal. Okay, so that is what he is talking about. Share of food spending down sharply, retail inflation may be overstated, and these are the things the author is suggest lower weightage for food in the CPI. So these are the things he is talking about. So according to him, the urban poor rural consumption divide, urban rural consumption divide has narrowed to 71%. So inequality is declining and all. Okay, so these are the things being talked about. Okay, so if you're watching this class, below in the description box, there is a link, one-on-one counseling session. Please click on this link. You will get this Google form. Everyone should fill this Google form. That would be very, very beneficial for you. You will get to know more about our courses and all. Now, first page, another article, Uttarakhand to table a bill to recover damage to property in protest. So basically, it means Uttarakhand public and private property damage recovery bill. So it means if this bill will be passed, so if someone is protesting and the protest turns violent, and let's say some vehicle was burnt, or let's say some vehicle got burnt or the buildings got burnt, then the person who actually were involved in that, so they will have to pay the burden, the expenditure. Okay, so that is what you should be knowing it. So the bill provides for recovery of cost of damage to public and private property during protests and strikes from those involved. So similar laws have been enacted in Uttar Pradesh and Haryana as well. So any senior official involved in the drafting of the bill said a tribunal headed by a retired judge would investigate the charges, and it would handle the assessment and order for damaged property after detailed discussion with the affected party. So if a violence happen, a retired judge will a commission will be set up under retired judge. It will investigate. The judge will investigate, and the retired judge, and will find out. Actually, we'll find out the people who are involved, and they will be punished. They will be fined accordingly after talking with the affected parties. So those who have been affected, those whose cars got burnt or buildings got burnt and all. Okay, so that is what you should be knowing it. Okay, and the one who were involved, they will have to pay it. So now, yes, just before moving on, 28th February at 6 p.m. we'll be having a session, live interactive workshop on our app. Download our app, go to CLAT section and watch this. And today also, download our app, go to CLAT session. Today at 6 p.m. also, we'll be having a session with me. Okay, so do follow it. We'll be discussing the important MHCT and upcoming Jamia SLAT ke liye we are having the GK current affairs free session will be there today at 6 p.m. Aaj join karna, okay? So I'll be conducting a quiz type thing and all. Okay. Yes. Now the next one is download our app, go to CLAT section, click on talk to our counselor. You will get to know more about our courses. And this is 2025 course. If you have any query, call on this number. 380 plus hours of live session, 300 plus recorded videos, etc. there. And this is a 2024 test series is also there. Call on this number if you have any query. Now let's move on to the next one. Rediscovering Palestinian statehood. Now this is written by Mr. T.S. Tirimurti. He is a former IFS officer. And he has served as a permanent representative to India at United Nations from 2020 to 2022. Okay. And he's talking about this Israel-Palestine conflict. So he's saying that the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, has not only declared publicly for the years he has been working against two-state solution to the Israel-Palestine conflict and all. So basically he's talking about two-state solution. Okay. And India has supported this cause. Okay. Now what exactly? Likha na hai, abhi recently also this is talking about November. India supports two-state solution during talks with USA. Then here is an article, 18th February, two-state solution for Palestine urgent, says Mr. S. Jaishankar, calls for permanent fix. Now, what exactly it is? So here is India, this is Israel. So this is Israel. Now, but here is, this region is West Bank. And this region is Gaza. Okay, so West Bank and Gaza together is called as Palestine. Now, so the United Nations recognizes Israel as a country, but officially as a country, but Palestine is not recognized as a country. Okay, so those who support the idea of two-state solution, they say that Palestine should also be recognized as officially recognized as a nation. So that's the concept of two-state solution. Okay, so this was 1946. No. This is West Bank and this is Gaza. And this is West Bank. So both together is called as Palestine. ठीक है. Okay. Now, so that is what he's talking about. That India supports it. That yes, Palestine should also be recognized as officially as a country at United Nations. ठीक है. So इसी की बात करें. But of course, the current Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, do not like it. I mean, has been working against the two-state solution. Okay, that is what they're saying. Yes. Anna. So this is what the author is talking about. Then there was another bombshell this time from Israel. The British Foreign Secretary David Cameron said the United Kingdom was willing to cooperate to recognize a Palestinian state before a deal with Israel and all. So these things were also coming in the news. He's David Cameron. He had earlier served as the Prime Minister of England also, and now he's the Foreign Secretary. And he says Britain is mulling recognition of Palestinian state. Mulling मतलब thinking, है ना? Thinking. सोच रहे, ख्याल कर रहे. So that is what he is talking about. The author is talking about that the British Foreign Secretary मतलब जैसे इंडिया में Foreign Minister होता है ना, so very similar to that, they call it as Foreign Secretary. So David Cameron said that the United Kingdom was willing to recognize a Palestinian state before a deal with Israel since the outcome, and also these are the things being talked about. This has set the cat among the pigeons. मतलब ये एक phrase होता है, मतलब हड़कंप मचा देना बोलते हैं ना जैसे हिंदी में. So that is what he is talking about. France has also joined UK, and also these are the things being talked about. Now the question is, will the USA support this two-state solution and all? So Mr. Netanyahu spoke to President Joe Biden and all. He later said Israel rejects international dictates and all. So actually Netanyahu has clearly said that no, he is not willing to accept the two-state solution and all. So these are the things the author is talking about. Then he's saying the states that have ignored Palestine for the last decade or more, the entire period when Netanyahu was in power, and some Gulf and Arab states which went on normalizing relation with Israel through Abraham Accord with even a fig leaf of an assured of two-state solution have now suddenly discovered the virtue of two-state solution. अब देखो बता ये रही कि बहुत सारे ऐसे countries थे, those who have gone have improved the relationship. So he's giving one example of Abraham Accord. So Abraham Accord was done between UAE and Israel. I hope you are aware. So along with some Bahrain and other countries were there, but primarily actually it was between UAE and Israel. So this was asked in CLAT 2020 also. So now, so they have gone, the Arab nations, many of the Arab nations have gone down to improve the relation. In fact, Saudi Arab was also planning to improve the relation and all. But now he's saying that in recent years, they have suddenly discovered the virtues, the benefit of two-state solution. Now they are also talking about the Arab nations that yes, the two-state solution should be there and all. That is what the author is talking here. The USA, which had pledged unconditional support to Israel war in Gaza, recently rediscovered the two-state solution, declaring Israel long-term and short-term security challenges and all. तो बताइए कि USA, for all practical purpose, USA has always supported Israel in the war, but still it is also thinking about this, है ना, two-state solution and all. While discovering the two-state solution, the US did a volte-face and voted against the UN General Assembly resolution and all, calling for stopping illegal settlement. So yes, but if you talk about the voting of USA has always voted in favor of Israel in UN General Assembly. Okay. Similarly, we have actually Israel Defense Forces, like for example, ये वाला था, US blocks ceasefire call with third UN veto in Israel-Hamas war. Okay, so now what happened was recently the Algeria initiated in UN Security Council initiated a resolution. Okay, so that there should be immediate ceasefire in Gaza, and immediate stopping of war. However, actually USA blocked it and all. So these things were coming in the news. So generally क्या होता है, whenever it happens, actually this is the USA always supports Israel as far as the voting in UN General Assembly or Security Council is concerned. So he's given some examples and all. ठीक है, अब इतना डिटेल नहीं जाना है. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called the denial of Palestine statehood as unacceptable. Means till now Palestine has not been recognized as a country. So the UN Secretary General has said it is unacceptable. They should have been recognized. He condemned the killing of so many people in Gaza, including 13,000 children and all. Okay, so these are the things. In fact, people went to the ICJ also. The South Africa went to the ICJ. So these are the things the author is talking about. So to preserve its rich Jewish majority, if equal rights are not considered, Palestine will become a second class. Palestinian will become second class citizen. Means if equal rights are not given to in the state of Jerusalem, if equal rights are not given to Palestinian and Jewish, then they will become a second class state, or what we call it as apartheid. So this was apartheid. Actually, is a term specifically used in context of South Africa, when actually there was a clear-cut discrimination between the white people and the black people. So similarly, a former Mossad chief also used this word for in case of Israel, Palestine and all, Israel imposing apartheid. So यहाँ पे भी the author is also saying the same thing and all. Okay, so these are the things you should be knowing about it. ठीक है. अच्छा एक homework है. Go and read about Oslo Accord. This is homework. 1990s में sign हुआ था. It's a homework. ठीक है. So go and find out. In the maybe in the future classes I'll be asking about it. Okay. So this was also between Israel and Palestine, and accord was done regarding this. Okay. Now the next is at the high table, Raisina dialogue lacked diversity in conversation foreign policy. See, this is actually an editorial, so this is primarily written by the Hindu editors. Okay. So they are talking about what? The Raisina dialogue lacked diversity in conversation foreign policy. Now, I hope you are aware, in this recently conducted Raisina dialogue, the Greek Prime Minister was invited. So he's a Greece. So the Greek Prime Minister was invited. His name is actually Kyriakos Mitsotakis. Okay, he was invited. And what he talked about IMEC, India, Middle East, East Europe Economic Corridor. He said that even if there is a war is happening, we should ensure that IMEC should be done. And he was speaking at Raisina dialogue. This Raisina dialogue is conducted by Observer Research Foundation (ORF) along with Ministry of External Affairs. So these are the things he talked about. ठीक है. IMEC के बारे में मैंने बता दिया है. So it is a connectivity from India through UAE, Saudi Arab, Jordan, Israel, Greece. ठीक है. So this is what we call it as. This IMEC was discussed first in the G20 summit last year, before the Israel-Hamas war started. Actually, this was discussed. Okay. Just say I have told you about it, that so let's say from this will be connecting like this, so from India to UAE, then Saudi Arab, then Jordan, then like this. Okay, and the earlier route or the current route is we are going like this. Okay, this is the current route, and this is the IMEC planned route. Okay, yes. Okay, so these are the things being talked about. तब हुआ ये कि जब this is being talked in Raisina dialogue, so the author is talking, we talked about the concept of Vishwamit or friend of the world. So this concept was given by S. Jaishankar, and such lofty ambitions launched by Ministry of External Affairs and all. So the Greek Prime Minister was present, and he talked about IMEC, and we have discussed it. Global governance, the inequality at the top of UN Security Council discussed. Inequality was also discussed, and ठीक है. अब ये हो गया, मतलब ये थोड़ा सा क्रिटिकल भी, अब इतना ज्यादा डिटेल नहीं जाना है. The greater part of conversation, however, focused on global conflicts with heavy presence of European dignitaries, turning the spotlight on Russia-Ukraine war. So Russia-Ukraine war related discussion happened, and panels on military naval strategy concerning need to handle aggressive China. So these things were talked about. Unfortunately, these conversations did not strike balance, as neither China nor Russia was invited. So the author is saying that yes, we talked about Russia-Ukraine war in Raisina dialogue. And aggressive nature of China. So the representative from Russia and China should also have been invited. That is what the author is saying. Then the Israel-Gaza war, or this the Israel-Palestine conflict should have also been discussed. So it also lacked diversity in conversation. India. So these are the things the author. So basically, author is actually slightly critical that Raisina dialogue should have been more better and all. ये बता रहे. ठीक है. So that is what you should be knowing. नीचे में article, a chilling effect on the freedom to love. Okay. So she's a Supreme Court lawyer and she's talking about it. Chilling effect मतलब negative impact के sense में. So she's actually talking about the recently initiated Uniform Civil Code. Which article of the Constitution talks about it? So the first state was having a Goa, which actually is continuing with Portuguese Civil Code. Then after independence, first state to come up is actually Uttarakhand, because Portuguese Goa is following since 1867. So Uttarakhand has recently come up with Uniform Civil Code. So which article talks about it? This is a DPSP, Directive Principle of State Policy. Yes, B article 44 talks about it. Yes, Ramesh, you're right. B is the right answer. No. But since it is a directive principle of state policy, it is up to the state or center to come up with it. So it's optional. Na? We have discussed about DPSP in the past. Yes, Astha, Vasti, Shweta, Ramesh, you all are right. Now, so the proposed uniform civil code is there. The bill only awaits the presidential assent. So it needs a president signing it, which purportedly consolidates common law and all. Okay. Why? Because, of course, first of all, it is a concurrent list. And if a parliament has made a law, then of course to overrule this, if a state legislature is passing a law contradictory to that, then the president needs to sign it. So it is waiting for the president assent. So once the president signs it, it will be implemented. Now, the author is not liking what? This clause, the live-in relationship, the registration of live-in relationship. Okay, so termination of, so basically if someone is living in a live-in relationship, then they have to register it. As far as the UCC bill in Uttarakhand is concerned. So the author is actually not happy with it. Termination of a relationship also requires notice to be submitted. So if they are stopping, termination means stopping the living relationship, then also they have to submit to the registrar that, okay, to the government official that yes, we are now breaking the live-in relationship and all. So actually, after another dangerous feature is a criminal penalty of imprisonment or both. If this statement is not right. So means the author is talking about that if it is not implemented and all. Okay. The registrar will inform the details of relevant relationship to the police station whose jurisdiction jurisdiction governs the couple. So मतलब registrar जो inform करेंगे local police station को भी and all. So basically she is critical of that. ठीक है. So in which of the following case Supreme Court decriminalized adultery? So she has actually quoted this judgment also. So section 497 was decriminalized of IPC. Navteej Singh Johar case, Joseph Shine case, Nalsa vs Union of India, none of the above. What is the right answer? Anyone? So basically she is quoting this judgment and Supreme Court has actually decriminalized, means in short you can say it has actually legitimized live-in relationship in that case. However, not in case of army. In case of army, still adultery holds true, means adultery is criminalized. So the right answer is Joseph Shine case. Okay. So in Joseph Shine case, decriminalization of adultery, you can read from SCO Observer website. However, in armed force cases, it will still be implemented. Okay. So in a society thrives on moral policing. So she is against moral policing, that if a living couples are living, why they are supposed to register and all. So she's not happy with that. I mean, she's criticizing it and all. And the 1 month limit is also there, that if two people are living in live-in relationship, so within 1 month they have to inform to the registrar. They have to register it. Okay. And if they want to part ways, also they have to inform it. So she's saying that it is violative of Article 21 and all. So she's quoting the same. Section 497 was actually struck down by Supreme Court in Joseph Shine case. Then she's also quoting right to privacy, KS Putta Swami versus Union of India case, which upheld, which Supreme Court said that under Article 21, right to privacy is a fundamental right. So she said that, I mean, according to the author, that this violates the right to privacy as well and all. So yahi sab hai. So that is what she's talking about. The next article is yes. Now, I hope you are aware, last year Chandrayaan 3 became very famous because we soft landed on south pole of the moon, right? First country to land on south pole of the moon, and fourth country to land on moon. Okay. After that, actually, in fact, Luna 25, the Russia also tried it, but unfortunately it failed. I hope you are aware. Recently, US-based Intuitive Mission. Now, the thing is, it's a private company. It's a US private company which has actually soft landed on south pole of moon. Okay, so just remember it. A soft lander robotic craft on the moon. The success of many space service provided in the US is rooted in crucial support from NASA in their formative phase and all. Okay. So that is what he's talking about. NASA ka mission hai, CLPSK, these are the things being talked. And Intuitive Missions lands on moon in historic first for a US company. It's a private US company based in Houston, Texas. Okay. Yes. So that is what you should be knowing it. Okay. तो अब इसमें इतना डिटेल नहीं जाना है थोड़ा सा, लेकिन आप इनके बारे में पढ़ लीजिएगा, इंट्यूटिव विजन एंड सो गो एंड रीड इट। द लॉन्गिट्यूड, कौन से लॉन्गिट्यूड पर कौन से लैटिट्यूड पर इट गॉट लैंडेड, ठीक है। सो इन द साउथ पोल इट लैंडेड एंड एट व्हाट लैटिट्यूड, सो गो एंड रीड इट, ठीक है। डज सर्विस टू द एजुकेशन सेक्टर, देखो इसमें भी आर्टिकल है। The author is actually talking about the interim budget substantial cut of over 60% allocation to UGC. So the author is not happy with the reduction in expenditure or allocation of expenditure to UGC, University Grant Commission, which is responsible for handling universities and all. Why? Because she is quoting actually एक बहुत famous committee थी led by former bureaucrat TSR Subramaniam committee. It recommended 6% of the total GDP to be invested in education sector. ठीक है. Similarly, this idea was given in National Education Policy 2020 also. That 6% of the total GDP needs to be invested in education sector, and still actually if we see we are far less than that. So 6% is not there. ठीक है. So we need to invest more in education because of course education is very important. To ensure the upliftment of the society and all, है ना? So these are the things. फिर एक और आर्टिकल थी टेक्स्ट एंड कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, कैन द आईमेक एड्रेस द रेड सी क्राइसिस? वी हैव डिस्कस्ड इट ऑलरेडी, आई हैव टोल्ड यू, है ना, दैट हियर इज यमन, दिस एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कॉल्ड एज हाउथीज, दे हैव अटैक्ड द शिप्स, जैसे अगर यहाँ समझ लीजिए इट्स कमिंग फ्रॉम इजराइल एंड ऑल, ओके, सो शिप्स कमिंग फ्रॉम इजराइल वाया सुएज कैनाल, यहाँ पे सुएज कैनाल है ना, दे आर बीइंग अटैक्ड. So uska the solution, I mean they have actually this one is actually what we call it as IMEC, the proposed one. Okay, so it will bypass this route and it will easily go through this route and all. So that is what we call it as IMEC, India Middle East East Europe Economic Corridor. But this is proposed, है ना? It is yet to be implemented because you have to construct this UAE से आपको यहाँ तक railway बनाना पड़ेगा. You have to have a railway line, है ना? These things and all. So that is what this article is talking about. So go and read about this as well. ठीक है, ठीक है, इंडिया मिडिल ईस्ट यूरोप इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर, है ना, सो इसी पर है. सो इसमें क्या क्या पूछ सकते हैं, सो दे कैन आस्क अबाउट इट कि ओके हाउथी रेबल्स कहाँ के, सो यू कैन से हाउथी रेबल्स आर एक्चुअली इन यमन, देयर इज अ यमन सिविल वॉर इज हैपनिंग, आई होप यू आर अवेयर ऑफ दैट, ठीक है. देन यू कैन से कि हाँ यहाँ पे ग्रीस है ना, सो ग्रीस के प्राइम मिनिस्टर आए थे, सो दे वांट एक्चुअली बिकॉज दिस विल द कनेक्टिविटी फ्रॉम इंडिया टू यूएई एंड यहाँ से यहाँ रेलवे लाइन, सो विल बी लाइक दैट. So they can because sometimes actually Suez Canal gets blocked also. So even in normal circumstances, जैसे एक बार हुआ था 2021 में, I think मार्च में, the Suez Canal got blocked because of ship issue. तो अब इसे हुआ ये था कि बहुत सारी शिप यहाँ पे रुक गई थी, यहाँ पर रुक गई थी. Now if there is another way, so they can go like this, ठीक है. So bypassing this Suez Canal problem and all, okay. So there's if you're watching this class, नीचे one-on-one counseling session का link is there. Click on this link. You will get this Google form, and everyone should fill this Google form. Our team will approach you, tell you about our courses, what are the benefits, and about the future prospect of this course and all. Now, one more thing. Today at 6 p.m. I'll be meeting you. So download our app. Go to CLAT section. At 6 p.m. I'll be meeting you. There'll be a quiz that would be beneficial for CLAT. अगर आप image CT का exam दे रहे हो this year, if you are attempting Jamia or SLAT or any other exam, so this 6 p.m. quiz will be very very important. Download our app, go to CLAT section, 6 p.m. पे I'll be meeting you. ठीक है, so remember it. Please subscribe to our channel, follow us Instagram, Facebook, Telegram, and download the BYJU'S exam prep app. Thank you everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.